Hi again, Agent Remaklus with Agent Remaklus Realty. Wanting to talk to you today about the three most common mistakes when buying a home. The first of which is falling in love with a house before it's yours. This is the biggest mistake that you can make as a home buyer, and I'll get into why. Falling in love with a house makes you an emotional buyer, makes you an emotional person. Emotions cloud judgment. There are too many points throughout a process in a transaction where you're going to need clear judgment. And finding the house is just simply one of the very first parts of purchasing a home. And really, what a good agent will do will counsel you that you're buying an investment that you can turn into a home later. So make sure that it has the things that you need when you buy the house or when you make an offer. But really, one of the best ways you can do to avoid, even if you're not sure you can trust yourself not to fall in love before it's yours, find more than one house that you can see yourself living in. That's simple. Find more than one that works for you. That way, as you're making an offer, as you're going through negotiations, you know you're not strapped to that one house. You know there's at least one or two others that you could easily see yourself living in that would work. It may not be the dream home, but you don't want to go into it thinking it's your dream home. Otherwise, you've just given away the farm. The other listing agent can smell that you want that house that bad, so they're going to get the top dollar out of you. Even with an exclusive buyer agent between you and the seller and the seller's agent, they're still going to be able to work you, because I'm not going to be able to talk you off the ledge. You're going to be in love, and then I'm going to be the guy that's trying to get in between you and a love affair. I don't want to be there. No good agent wants to be there. So try not to fall in love with a house, and the best way to do that, I think, is to simply find more than one house, and just know that in the process. Emotions cloud your judgment. So the second reason, or second most common mistake that people make, is calling the number on the sign of the house that you've fallen in love with. So it's almost doubling the first mistake, and adding insult to injury. So the second biggest mistake people make is calling the listing agent. The listing agent is the person whose number is on the sign of the house that's for sale. That person already works for the seller. It's that simple. They may refer you to an agent that they like working with if you call them, and that's the best you can hope for by calling the number on the sign. Find your own representation. Find an exclusive buyer's agent if there's one in your area, and you can find that out relatively easily by getting a hold of NABA, N-A. I'm gonna write NABA down for you. This is not a mistake. This is a solution. Call NABA or email NABA to find out if you have an exclusive buyer agent in your area. Don't call the listing agent to buy the house of your dreams. So number 3 in really a long list of mistakes that can be made when buying a home. So for the purposes of the video, we've limited it to 3, but really, until I get to know a client, I don't know how best to counsel them, because different people are good at different things and not good at other different things, and you just don't know until you talk to someone. So the third mistake is kind of about that, talking to someone. So the third mistake is thinking as a buyer that you are on your own. This is so not true. You generally have more representation in a transaction than a seller does. What that means is, as a buyer, you find an exclusive buyer agent, you find a lender, and you find the title officer or escrow officer that you're going to use. Every transaction, just about, in history of residential home buying has these three entities. Those three entities all work for you: buyer's agent, lender, escrow officer. What does escrow mean? We can go into that another time, but that's basically the third party that handles all the documents for any transaction that happens ever. So you have a third unbiased, uninterested party that handles all the documents and money. And those people ensure your transfer of title. And so they work for you as the buyer. They're ensuring that when you get the piece of paper that says you bought the home, you do get it. Okay, and that it stays yours. So number 3 is thinking you are on your own. The third most common mistake is thinking that you are on your own as a buyer. It is so not true. You have the money. You are the bus driver in a transaction. Without money, there is no transaction. You can have an entire city be for sale, but without a single buyer, nothing happens. So be empowered as a buyer. Be empowered, and don't get in your own way by breaking rule number 1. And then don't get in your own way by breaking rule number 2. Find representation that can help counsel you through the whole process, because there are many mistakes that can be made in the process of buying a home, because you're dealing with people. You're not just dealing with a house, you're dealing with a seller and a seller's agent and yourself and your lender and the escrow officer and your representative, your exclusive buyer agent. So there's a lot of moving pieces to buying a home, and it takes place over a fairly long period of time. The average in our town in Reno is 45 days. There are shorter transactions and there's certainly longer ones, but that's a considerable amount of time for feelings to change, or for dramas to arise, or for problems to be found in the home inspection, and then a seller that doesn't want to fix the issues. So again, don't fall in love with a house, because if the seller doesn't want to fix things that are clearly wrong with the home, you can stick to your guns and say that I'm not buying this house because I'm going to go buy the other one that I found that I also can see myself living in. You keep the power when you find more than one home. You keep the power when you get an exclusive buyer agent, and you keep the power when you know that you're the one with the power when you have the money. Thank you for your attention. And if you have any questions, please comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. See you soon. Hi, and thank you so much for watching our video. If you found it to be interesting, please take a moment to like and subscribe to our channel below. To stay tuned and updated on our blog and our page activities, please follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. All of our links to those are below in the description. Thanks again, and see you next time.